You'd think people would know by now that it's not cool to be a Nazi these days, but no.
Well, I'm Russ Milheim from The Direct. Thank you guys both for talking to me today about Freaky Tales.
Yeah.
Hi.
Congratulations on pulling it off. It is quite a crazy movie with a lot of really interesting story and a lot of star power too. So,
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, love our cast. Feel very lucky to have had them on there.
the first thing I wanted to talk about though is just, seeing a bunch of people beat up Nazis feels very cathartic given today's society and its problems. How would you say that not only that story, but just this collection of zany stories, that, it's even though it's in the 1980s, how does it remain relevant to the world that we live in?
It's more relevant than we ever wanted it to be. Like we have a character, we're set in 1987. We have a character played by Normani who says, it's 1987. You'd think people would know by now that it's not cool to be a Nazi these days, but no. And then, when we wrote this in 2020, it was like, okay, we're gonna be able to move past this and still reflect on that crazy couple of years we had. But here we are again, 2025, and people still need reminding.
Yeah, just I think absolutely, and just that it's nice to be able to, I think, spend a couple hours in this movie and watch the underdogs, kick the bullies behind for, a change.
Like I mentioned before, the film is absolutely it's filled with an insane cast. Can you talk about how you managed to get such an incredible list of talent and how they were able to contribute to the project, themselves past their own performances?
I mean, look, a lot of it's timing and luck. We got lucky. Pedro Pascal, like we really liked, but he had The Last of Us hadn't come out yet, so he wasn't like this colossal movie star that he is now. He was just a good actor and a good dude that was right for the role. So that's just great timing on that one. Tom Hanks is in the movie because we did some episodes of the World War II drama Masters of the Air that he produced, and he's from Oakland, and we actually wrote him into the script, into the musical section of the script as just appearing, in a little cameo. And we gave him the script, and he was like, "Oh, this is great. I'll do that." And so we were kind of like, "Oh, is he really going to do this?" And if he is, are we really taking advantage of Tom Hanks being in this movie? So we wrote that scene in the video store specifically for Tom once it looked like he was actually going to come join us in Oakland. And so we had a lot of fun with that one as
Yeah.
well.
And he hates Nazis too. So he did it.
That's good. It's always a good quality in a person, I think.
Yeah.
Were there any actors that you were close to getting, but it just couldn't work out for whatever reason?
We honestly got our dream cast on this one. Ben Mendelsohn, first person we went to. Jay Ellis, first person we thought of for this. Pedro Pascal, number one choice. So I think like across the board, we just got our top choices.
Yeah. No,
Would it
I,
have
I
never happened
I'm not even sure it's true, but I'm going with it.
I have to ask a quick, unrelated question. You guys both directed Captain Marvel. I was just wondering, is there a world where, you guys go back and work with Marvel Studios again on a different project? Have you guys ever talked about what might be next between you guys?
We've been actually pitching them to turn Freaky Tales into a comic book so that they can make Freaky Tales part of the MCU.
Can you imagine? How
That would
great
be
would that
wild.
be? Can Peggy be what's it, Reed Richards and Clint?
Yeah.
It could happen. It could
It's
happen.
like, we're yeah, so this is what we're planning to pitch next.
This is obviously an anthology film, and one film I was thinking of when watching it was Trick or Treat, which is one of my favorites. What were some of your biggest inspirations, to create this movie, and even your own favorite anthology films?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I grew up loving Creepshow, which was fantastic. Like what's different about ours is ours leans a little more Pulp Fiction in the sense that the characters interact with each other. They're not pure. It's not pure anthology where the stories are like standalone in their entirety. The Jim Jarmusch movies I was always a big fan of. Like Mystery Train and Night on Earth. I love those. Yeah, of course you've got Altman shortcuts in Nashville. We love those. Those movies are a little different in terms of like they keep circling around each other throughout the entire movie,
Mhm.
right? As opposed to just each individualized story. But yeah, there's a lot of them that I loved growing up.